So, Mommy, how you feeling today?
I'm a little nervous.
Why?
Well, this is a big deal.
Okay, so I have some questions I want to ask you, and I want you to ask me a few more questions.
All right.
Okay, I want you to explain the process of when you wanted to adopt me.
You mean the legal process?
Yeah.
Okay. So first thing you have to do, you have to find an adoption agency.
Mm-hmm.
And the agency investigates your background, make sure you're not a criminal or a child abuser, but also that you have a decent place to live. Where is the child going to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have health insurance? It's really important. And are you healthy? Are you going to be able to take care of this kid? So we went through all of that. Then I had to take classes. I had to take a series of 10 classes. That's how I met Auntie Patricia. About both adoption and just about basic child rearing things. Okay, so that was good. Then I had to get fingerprinted twice. I had to go to the police station to get fingerprinted. And then you just write a lot of checks for this, that, and the other thing.
I did not know it cost that much money.
Well, you know, the child has to be taken care of. There are a lot of people involved. All those people need to be paid. You know, there are fees that you pay to the government for different things, forms that you have to fill out and stuff. So it's just more, yes, it's expensive, but it's just really time consuming. The process is time consuming. But it was okay. It was worth it.
Next question is, how did you come to adopt me?
Well, that's a kind of a long story, but it's I think it's interesting. So first thing that happened is a long time ago, I won a lot of money with my coworkers.
You won a lot of money, Mommy?
Yeah, we won a lot of money in the lotto.
What?
I used some of the money for a Christian child care agency that did a lot of work in Africa called World Vision. It's a really great group. So I did that, and then a friend of mine from my church went to Uganda to work with people who had AIDS. She's a nurse, or she worked with nurses. And she asked if I would help support her while she was there, because she didn't get paid by the people there. So I was doing that. And I enjoyed it. I mean, but I didn't have much involvement, right? I'm just writing a check. Really not a big deal. And then I bought those 2 dining tables, those coffee tables, I mean, and they were expensive. And I felt kind of guilty about that. And then I just felt like God was saying, well, you spending all that money on those tables, you need to do something for somebody, and something more than just writing a check. And then I really started to feel like God wanted me to adopt a child, and specifically a child from Africa. And you know, there's a lot of adoption of our family, so adoption in and of itself is not a big deal, right? So that was cool. But I was old. And I thought, oh, I don't know about this.
You look phenomenal for an old lady.
Thank you. So I really had to think about it. I prayed about it. I had my friends and my family, my sisters were all praying about it. And then finally, I just felt like, yeah, this is what you need to do. You need to adopt a child from Africa. So then I started to think about, I would really like that. I always wanted to have a little girl. And so I started getting really excited about it. Then I had to choose the country. There actually didn't have that many options. It was Liberia or Ethiopia were the countries that were available to me at that time through the agency that I was using, Auntie Cheryl. And I decided to go with Liberia because a lot of the people of Liberia had been, they were descendants of people who had been enslaved in the United States and then went back to Africa to reclaim their lives. And I thought that meant we had a connection. So that's why I chose Liberia.
Okay, Mommy. What were you scared of the most?
It's a big responsibility, raising a child, and being especially being a single parent, although I didn't know that you were going to be special when you first came. And then I still had to work. I was worried about the language, if I would be able to talk to you. Even though Liberians speak English, it's a different English than Americans speak. And I was afraid to love somebody as much as I thought a child would need.
Mommy, stop. You love me. You're very affectionate. I'm shocked you said that.
Well, but this was in the beginning.
Oh,
This was in the beginning. You're actually, in the beginning, you were very easy to love. There was a period there, not so easy, but in the beginning, you were great. You were cute and loving. You told everybody you met, "I love you." Do you remember that? You would tell everybody, "I love you."
I never. Really?
Yeah.
Uh,
When you would meet them for the first time, and when they were leaving, she'd go, "I love you," and people would go, "Oh." They loved that about you too. You were always pretty affectionate. Yeah.
okay.
So the fear was that I wouldn't do a good job, and to be honest, I don't think I did a good job in the beginning.
Oh, okay.
I think that there were times, especially when you started to become a little more stubborn and wouldn't do what I wanted, that I just was more interested in getting you to obey me rather than trying to figure out what the issues were and why you were resistant or why you didn't want to do something. I mean, sometimes kids just don't want to do something that they're told, and that's not okay. But I was responding in a way, it was just really about trying to satisfy myself. And
But you did
I
a
was
good
scared. Oh,
job.
thank you. But I had a lot of help, and we went to therapy. I don't know if you
Yeah.
remember that. It was
I
helpful for
remember.
me. I don't know if it was helpful for you, but
We
it was
tried,
actually
like-
helpful for me. She really gave me some really good tools. She reminded me that you're your own person, and that I needed to figure out how to let you be you at the same time that I'd be the responsible parent.
Yeah, we had like 3 different ones. Wasn't it?
It was just the one, Sabeda.
I felt like we had like 3 different people.
No, well, when we went together, it was just this one person, Sabeda Ellis. She was great. Then you had a counselor at school. I can't remember her name. It was Barbara?
Kiss? Miss Kiss.
Miss Kiss, yes. There are a lot of people along the way who were really supportive and helpful and gave me good guidance, including Miss Sheila, because she adopted a child too. And sometimes I would go to her and I'd say, "What do I do in this situation?" Plus she had, 3 kids, not just one. So there was a lot of people that helped along the way.
Yeah.
And still help, frankly.
They still do today.
Yeah, they still do.
Yeah, very supportive people. Okay, March 28, 2008. That's our first time meeting.
It's March 20th, actually.
I don't know. March 20, 2008. That's our first time meeting, right?
Yes.
And I came off the airplane and then I ran into my mom's arm.
Yep.
What was your emotions?
First of all, I was amazed that you recognized me.
I recognized you.
Well, you came running towards me, so you must have recognized me. I had sent you a picture.
Because they sent me pictures in the orphanage, so that could be it.
Yeah, I sent you a photo album
Yeah.
with pictures of me, of my mom. Even though my mom had passed away, I just wanted you to know her. All my sisters, Renee, Sheila, Priscilla. Pictures of the apartment, postcards of New York City, just like this whole photo album. But I was amazed that you recognized me. I think I included a picture of your godmother too, actually. And so that was mostly with surprise and just kind of relief, because the federal authorities held you guys for like 3 hours and wouldn't release you. And I was afraid they were going to send you back to Liberia without ever letting you enter the country. But obviously that didn't happen. So it was mostly relief and a little excitement. I don't remember getting like emotional or crying or anything like somebody we could name. But
That was my favorite moment of Godmama.
then after that, of course, then you had to change clothes because you were coming from Liberia and you were dressed in summer wear and it
Yeah.
was cold. It was even snowing a little bit. So we had clothes for you to change into. Didn't have shoes, because I know what size shoe you wore. We had socks and pants, a little hat, a jacket. And then you got really quiet. And on the ride from the airport to the apartment, you started to cry.
I don't know
So
why.
I think it was a little overwhelming. Why wouldn't it be? Of course. Plus,
Yeah.
everything looked different. I've not been to Liberia, but I'm sure it doesn't look like Brooklyn.
Oh no.
Right? So it was understandable, but you were very quiet about it and didn't make a scene or anything. You were just kind of quietly crying. You could see tears. And so when we get to the house, this is the part. So when we get to the house and we're walking up the stairs, and at first you live on the 4th floor and there's no elevator. And you were walking up, and then you got to the 3rd floor and you just stopped and you sat down. I said, Lexi, one more floor. Come on, it's okay. But eventually you got up. But later you would say things like, I'm tired. I'm hungry. I'm cold. But you got used to everything. You used to be terrified of dogs. Like we walked down the street and a dog passed, you would grab me and run to the other side, and people always go, oh, he won't hurt you. And I said, it's not the dog.
Yeah.
And now you don't even pay attention when a dog walks by.
I still get a little afraid.
Yeah.
What was the challenging part in the beginning?
Communication. I didn't understand you. You seemed to understand me, which I thought was amazing, but so many times I just did not understand what you were saying. And you were so patient. And I would say, could you say it again? And you would say it again. As many times as I asked you to say it, you would say it. So finally, I just started to be able to understand the accent. And then you started taking English classes at school once you started school. And I guess that helped. I think you still have a little bit of an accent.
Yeah. People tell
It's
me that a
charming.
lot.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
fine.
I'm such an
You don't
American.
hear it in yourself. Yeah, I hear it a little bit. But nothing compared to when you first arrived. I remember
wish I
when
still had
Nene
it.
came, of course, Nene was here. She stayed for a couple of days, I think. And then when she was leaving, she went, good luck. But she was talking about the language.
Yeah. So what's the most challenging part now?
That you want to grow up too fast, and I don't think you're ready. But me letting you do it, to make the mistakes that I know you're going to make, that I want to protect you from, but we don't learn that way. We learn from making our mistakes, but that's very challenging.
Yeah, you're always trying to protect me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to teach you things and you don't want to listen. That's also challenging for me because I know that I have experience and I could not necessarily save you trouble, but that you can learn from me. That's why you go to school. You're learning from people who know more than you do. You could learn from me, but you resist.
Yeah, that's a bad habit. But we will see as time gets older.
Yeah, well, you'll learn. There's no question that you will learn. I can see how you've matured and how you've grown already. So I know that, a few more years, you'll learn that much more. And once you're actually out living on your own and you don't have
That's my favorite part.
mommy's safety net, you really don't have a choice but to learn on your own. But I really want you to get to the point that you know either how to take care of things yourself or you know how to get the right answers, that you make good decisions. That's really important to me, that you learn to make good decisions and that you learn to read directions.
Okay, how would you describe our relationship now?
I think we have a great relationship.
Yes, I love our
I
relationship.
think we're very warm and affectionate with each other. You make me laugh. I honestly wish we spent more time together.
Me too. It's so, I was telling one of my teachers, I was like, it's so weird how two people can live together but barely spend time with each other. Because you're always working and I'm always hanging out with my friends. I'm just like...
Or you're locked up behind your room. Like, I want us to sit down at the dinner table and have dinner together, and you don't want to do that. So.
Yeah. What are you most proud of during your adoption journey? Or since we
Honestly, how raising you has shown me more about my relationship with Jesus.
Really?
I know it seems crazy, but now when I see your response to me, that how Jesus sees my response to him. So I've actually learned a lot about my faith through raising you and seeing how you respond to things. Like, you can be very forgiving. You can be tough and not so nice sometimes, but then other times you're just very forgiving, which I am not. I find that hard, and so I've learned from you in that. But mostly it's just shown me how to see God in fresh eyes.
Mm-hmm. Well, madam, that's all our time for our questions.
Don't I have questions now?
Yes, you want to ask me a few questions?
I have a few questions for
Okay.
you. Tell me about your adoption journey. How did you end up being adopted?
Like, from how I felt when I was in Africa?
Well, both how you learned about it, what you learned about it, what you expected it to be, and how has the reality compared?
When I was being adopted, I didn't know what adoption was. So, like, I don't understand the process. I just know I was going from one location to another.
But you and the other kids talked about it, right?
No.
Oh, you didn't?
No, we talked about who's going to adopt us, how our family look like.
Oh, I see.
But we never, like, said the word adoption. Like, we never understood it. It was just like, oh, we're going to go to a new family, and we're really happy.
What did you think your family was going to look like before you got the pictures?
The pictures, I thought it was really stunning. I was like, my mom is really beautiful, and then I was like, oh, we're gonna do this. I had like things I wanted to do with you, but I just didn't know the words for it.
Sure.
So I was just like, oh, my house is so pretty. I was like, I'm gonna live in that, because I had my niece and we kept on talking about it. I was just like, oh.
Yeah, I was so excited about your room. I wanted it to be just so.
But now no.
Well, it was. It was gorgeous. Yeah, not so much now.
But yeah, I was excited, but now I understand what adoption is, and I'm actually like, oh, I'm adopted. I don't like regret anything, but I know at times I was gonna feel sad because like it made me feel like, oh, where's gonna be my biological family? How am I gonna spend time with them, and how am I gonna make two diversities come together? So it was kind of hard, and then during the holidays, I kind of like. It was very emotional because I'm like, well, I'm not spending time with my actual family. I'm spending time with a different family.
Right.
So it was kind of hard.
Were you angry at your biological family?
In the beginning, when I started like at a teenage stage, I was angry. I think that's when like I kind of said those mean words to you. And then it's just like I wanted to live with them and make great memories with them, but I didn't understand why I was here making memories with you instead of them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was challenging. But now I like it. Now I don't like, you know? No.
You're comfortable here now.
Yeah.
Do you feel more American or more African?
I feel more American. But I want to learn more about my culture.
Yes.
And I want to go back sometimes.
Sure.
But with you, like to see the family.
I would like to go together. One of my regrets, so I have two regrets. One is that I never held you as a baby because you were 8 years old. And sometimes I would actually think about, like, close my eyes and imagine and love to you as a baby.
I want to see myself as a kid too. There was like, sometimes my friends ask me like, you don't know how you look like a baby? I was like, no, I don't.
No, I don't have any pictures. And my other regret is that I didn't go to Liberia to pick you up.
You should have, Mom. But then again, I don't think you would like it.
No, maybe not, but at least I would see where you had lived, and I could see the bed you slept in, and maybe we would have even gone to visit your family. I don't know. I think some of the American parents did that.
Martua
I think that would have been really a good thing. But I didn't want to go alone, and I couldn't get anybody here to go with me, so I chickened out.
It's okay. We have our own experience. Any more questions, Mom?
How do you see yourself in 5 years? You're 20 now. How do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you want to be realistically, not fantasizing, but realistically? What do you see?
I think I want to move, like somewhere not so far from you, but somewhere like that I could have do my own mistakes, learn, and be my own person. Probably like having my own, like working my way to having my own salon. And then, like, being an assistant
in
to
5 years?
Yeah.
Wow. That's ambitious.
Mommy, I don't want to work. I don't like working for people.
Okay.
And then, like, as working as an assistant and going to business school at the same time.
Okay. And what about having kids?
But I have to have a husband.
I know. So, but you don't see that happening in the next 5 years.
No, I'm just
I
focused.
think that's wise.
Yeah, maybe 25 is not the age to get married.
That's still young. That's pretty young. Even 30 is young.
But I want to start having kids at my early 30s.
Yeah.
So I could like spend time with them, have energy. And then when I'm like 40, I feel like I won't have as much energy as much.
It's definitely harder when you get to be 40. But 40 is still not that old. But I agree with you. I think 30s is a better choice if you can.
But thank you guys so much. I hope this interview helped you guys to learn how to adopt. If you guys have any questions, come and email me, text me, Facebook message me. Mommy, do you have anything you want to say?
I think adoption is a wonderful option, and it's a great way to care for kids whose families can't care for them. And it's not a sign that the biological families didn't love them and didn't want them, but that circumstances didn't allow them to keep, and that's something to remember too.
Well, thank you for your time. It was great having this conversation
This was
with
kind
you.
of fun.
I'm back to you. Mommy, say period.
Period.
Not like period.
Period.
City Girls All 2019.
This is City Girls All 2019.
Hey, mommy.
That's how you feel, and you know that it's real. When I think of you, I know I'll be okay. It's you, my love. Anytime I sleep, I see you, my love. Early in the morning, it's you, my love. It's only you I need.
You're listening.
Make my life complete.
So my mom is embarrassing me walking like this.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I'm embarrassed.
Oh, it's only you. Never seen a girl that can do the things you do. It's only you.
Mommy, I just want to say happy birthday to my most amazing, annoying queen. You've been there ever since, I could say, like 11 years now, right? You've been there, you supported, you've done an amazing job raising me, even though we have our little up and down, you still like keep my head straight, right? I just want to say thank you for loving me, and thank you for having me and being a blessing. Happy birthday.
I'm losing my mind.